Well, this time it's coming from Elon Musk himself. A lot of social media is bad for kids as there is extreme competition between social media AIs to maximize dopamine. These are words of Elon Musk himself. I don't need to introduce who Elon Musk is, but there's a reason why I'm going to do. He's the owner of the current X, earlier Twitter. He has co-founded at least 6 companies, including electric car maker Tesla, rocket producer SpaceX, OpenAI, Neuralink, and not just this. Elon Musk is a father to 9 children. So he jolly well knows what he's speaking. But do you know what you are doing as a parent or anyone who is watching us when it comes to screen time and social media for your children, our children, infants, toddlers, or teens? Stay with us for the next 20 minutes as we take you through this. What is this extreme competition between social media, artificial intelligence, to hook you and me and our children that Elon Musk is speaking about? For years, social media platforms have capitalized on human psychology by triggering dopamine rushes similar to those induced by narcotic substances. Powerful AI or artificial intelligence algorithms that Elon Musk refers to allow social media companies to funnel even more addictive content to users, sharpening into the rivalry, helping creators generate new and more tailored content faster and faster. Bots fuel artificial engagement, dopamine rushes, and you, worse, your children, never realize that they are falling into a trap, particularly children, because they are not capable of understanding the consequences. They do not understand predatory behavior. They are not trained to. Engineered addiction, yes, that's a term. Engineered addiction has devastating effects, and engineered addiction has much to do with AI, algorithms, as well as social media. It has devastating effects on children who are in critical developmental stages. Speech, language, communication constitute pivotal aspects of early childhood development. One cannot at all lay enough emphasis on the need of face-to-face interactions with adults and peers to develop language skills, emotional regulation, and social aptitude. In fact, the very child's making. Often people, parents of young children, either are desperate for a break from their children, fairly so. It's not easy bringing them up. To get that just 1 hour for yourself, it can be a huge game changer for the young and not so young parents. But does it need to come at the cost of screen time at some stage, or unregulated screen time at other stages, depending upon the child's age? And then, as a parent, you have this constant thought: are there restrictions on screen time stopping your children from learning new stuffs that their peers, if allowed that screen time, might? Experts say there's a way to go about this. That's why the Indian Academy of Pediatrics has issued guidelines for screen time in children. Those below 2 years should not be exposed to any screen except occasional video calls with relatives. Children aged 2 and 5 years should limit screen time to 1 hour, with less being preferable. And children above the age of 6 should have consistent limits on the time and type of social media they use. And by the way, I have quoted Indian standards, but a quick cursory look at international celebrities whom we spend a lot of time following, engaging, looking up at the social media, have at times shown iron fists while limiting screen time for their children. Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, Angelina Jolie, Jennifer Lopez, David Beckham, Serena Williams, Bill Gates, to name just a few. AI has the potential, and I totally get it. It has the potential to revolutionize and enrich our lives. But we have to forge a path that safeguards our children from an even more potent, dangerous social media addiction. And I'm being joined by a team of experts to help us navigate through this. Gitanjali Kumar, who's a psychologist, Dr. Rashmi Jain, who's a professor and parent, Kasturi Shankar, who's an actor, and Rahul Bhardwaj, who's a Vice President for Inthosi Tech Private Limited. Thank you very much, all four of you, for joining us. We're looking forward to this conversation. Dr. Rashmi Jain, if I can come to you first. As a professor who engages with AI, could you break down what Elon Musk has really spoken when he talks about competitive AI algorithms for social medias that children must stay away when it comes to overuse? What is Elon Musk talking about?
Sure. Firstly, thank you, Sneha, for having me on this show. And I'm just going to explain this in very, very simple terms. If we just take a step back and understand what is AI and what are AI algorithms, at a very fundamental level, AI algorithms are algorithms which are assigned a task. They've been given some data, a favorable set of data, and then they come up with output. And basis our feedback, which in technical terms is called training of the AI models, basis our feedback, they refine their output. So to give you an example, if I want the AI to paint me a picture of sunset, it will paint me a picture of sunset, and then based on my feedback, it will keep improving it. Now coming to the social media aspect of it. Social media algorithms and AI algorithms on social media have mastered the ability to find out the preferences of the user and to exactly profile the user. They do this on the basis of what you are watching, what is the user watching, what is the user liking, what is the user sharing, basically the engagement. Based on this, the AI algorithms on social media are designed so as to increase the engagement time, because that is what helps social media companies to attract advertisers and generate more and more revenue. So in the best interest of social media companies, they want to enhance the engagement time and as well as have more and more users. Now, in order to do this, a lot of AI models and AI algorithms keep on showing the user content which they have already liked. Now, in case of children, what happens is if they have liked a particular video, say a 2 to 5 year old has liked something about football, they will be showing them more and more content about football. Likewise, if the 2 to 5 year old kid has liked something in esports, the kid will be exposed to more content of the same time. Now, this can have a range of effects on the mind of the kid. Though the kid is enjoying watching these videos which the kid already has a preference for, what it does is it restricts the kid from observing and engaging in content of other type. Maybe it could be cricket, or it could be some other sport, or some rhymes, or something else. So it is limiting the perspective which the kid is building. It is creating what we call as a filter bubble, and it is exposing the kid again and again to the same kind of content, which is in a way hampering the kid's development of the mind and cognitive skills.
Okay, that's as fairly and as simply as you can put it. Gitanjali Kumar, let me just come across to you first at this now at this point. Gitanjali, you deal with children. Now, if you have algorithms which people say will be able to generate more based on user patterns, so what? Parents may say, we'll control it, let the kids learn, let the kids use. What's the problem here?
The problem here is very basic and simple, that these algorithms which then tend to pick and choose the program which the child is going to like as Rashmi was also talking about, then the social media has a reinforcing effect. It is of reinforcing nature. So I tend to like it. I want more. Ye dil mange more. Because there is a good feeling, there is a happy feeling. Now that happy feeling is coming because my brain is releasing dopamine. Now this dopamine makes me feel good and nice, and I want to have more of these programs. So the more of these programs I want to watch, I enjoy, and gradually it becomes addictive. So when the parent wants to restrict the screen time, the child is not ready. The child turns out to be rebellious, defiant, aggressive. Anxiety builds into the child. There are a lot of other factors that tend to impact the child's mind. Definitely cognitive delays are there, but along with cognitive delays or cognitive malfunctioning, there's a lot of mental health issues. So much of anxiety and depression we are seeing. The idea of FOMO, that I am being left out. They are not able to enjoy the concept of JOMO, joy of missing out, because the likes matter to me. Why am I not getting the like? I want to see more of my likes. So all this leads to a lot of anxiety in that child. There are focus issues in the child. Concentration is a problem. So when they actually get down to study, read, write, their brain is not along with them. So the parent-child relationship also suffers. The social relationship also suffers, because the children are just sitting in isolation in their rooms playing games or watching something. They may get connected to somebody over a game which is played online, but what are they watching? There is no filters, there are no censors. The parents cannot even come to know. So it's just a tip of the iceberg I'm talking about.
So I have a lot to ask you, but I have other panelists. Before I move on to the other panelists, good Gitanjali, what you have also emphasized is right now for children who are slightly on the older side. Those who would be using Facebook, those who would be using Instagram, who understand the concept of likes, who understand what peers are putting. And then you also have another set of parents or children, in fact, who may be just about, say, 1 year, 2 years old, 3 years, 4 years old, who may not really be using social media accounts, but are going to be allowed this screen time by parents.
Sneha, let me be very honest. 1 year and 3-month-old baby is able to put her fingers on the smartphone. She's able to watch a YouTube video, because there are a lot of videos which the parent has put, and she dances along with those tunes. She sings along with the tune. She wants to eat her meal. The maid is serving her the meal along with the tune, and everybody in the family is enjoying. So the diet of the child is already determined. The child is not ready for the social media platform, but the child is actually consuming passively, whether it is a nursery rhyme, whether it is a folk story, or it is some videos of some singers or dancers, whatever it is. I'm seeing this in families, friends, everywhere. So imagine 1 year, 3 months, 15-month-old baby is being fed on this diet.
Right.
So what is the future ahead?
Okay.
Very dark and dismal.
Okay. Let me just go across to Rahul Bardwaj at this point. Rahul, what's your sense when you talk about, you're in the gaming industry, you are in an industry which children absolutely love, consume so much of it. Of course, AI has great potential to change the way we learn, to equip us with so much, and so does social media. So I'm not saying let's ban it. That's not what I'm advocating. But from the background that you come, what are you bringing to the table? What do you say from a person who day in and day out operates on this field? What are the red flags that common people, ordinary parents, will not be knowing about?
Yeah, Sneha. So rightly said, there are always pros and cons of each and every technology, and AI is changing the world in a positive direction. But yes, there are a lot of cons available for that. Young children are addicted to mobile, right? There are AI algorithms. I am in the AI industry from last 10 years. These algorithms are very cleverly designed so that even not only children, even we adults get hooked up to the lot of social media. If anybody spends time on reel, right, they don't know that they had spent even 2 hours, right? Similarly is the case of children. There is a brain reward center, right? So I, as a child, would enjoy the likes, the comments, the shares. It gives me a good feeling, right? So these AI algorithms are working because they are doing their job, right? So we are doing our stuff that okay, we want more and more user base, but there are a lot of policies in the place. There are a lot of, I would say, there are a lot of filters which are available. But what we have done as a parent, so for example, I'm a father of a 8-year-old daughter. If you ask me if we want our time, the easiest way is to give a mobile to a child, and the child is hooked to mobile and you can do your work. I think something is also lacking in ourselves when it comes to dealing with the children. They are not able to get the outdoor time because
No,
we are
Rahul,
also trying to find out an easy way
I
out.
get what you're trying to say, but can you just shift your focus to the tech aspect, to the AI aspect of it? Because you are representing a field that not many may understand. As a parent, I may understand that social media is bad for my kid. After a
Right.
certain extent, I need to restrain it. We'll talk about that.
Right.
But as a person who's part of
Right.
an industry that actively engages in AI algorithms, I'm trying to get a perception, I'm trying to understand what's with the social media and AI algorithms that Elon Musk had to flag it off.
Okay, so first flag, red flag would be that whenever a young child goes to a social media, there is a lot of personal information that gets shared. That's one of the biggest red flag which Elon Musk has shared. Second is there are not only social media, there are various AI algorithms which are vulnerable. The child becomes vulnerable because there are compromised policies behind that. Right, the AI algorithms which are being designed, they are designed to take as much as data as possible. So, if you talk about specifically from the AI point of view, the AI can even understand. You will not believe there are smart speakers available, there are smart remotes available, right? Anything which you are even talking, right? Even that's all the information is getting somewhere at the back end, somewhere the data digging is happening on the AI algorithms. So that's there from the AI part.
All right, okay. Kasturi Shankar, if I can come to you, you're an actor, you're a celebrity yourself, you have children. Is the worst over for you, if I may?
I'm going to be honest. I was a Mahabharata Ramayana kid. When I was growing up, my grandmother used to tell me stories and feed me food. Now, in my generation, my kids, they are Peppa Pig kids. They are cartoon kids. My elder daughter grew up on a diet of cartoons. My son, who is Generation Alpha kid, he grows up on YouTube videos, right? Unfortunately, this generation, the mobile phone has taken the place of the grandma, of the mother, of the teacher, and the babysitter all in one. That is where the danger lies. In my household, we have to, I've learned it the hard way. I found it, I'll be honest, I admit, I confess that I used to think, oh, this guy's not eating, so okay, we'll show his favorite cartoon. And then, lo, he's so absorbed in the YouTube video that I can feed him easily. This was a shortcut I was taking with my busy schedule.
Let's face it, Kasturi, it does make life easy when you are so pressured for time, when the kid is not consuming anything, when the kid is not eating anything for the kid's well-being. You just feel at times, why not just distract, why not just feed? And that perhaps is a big, big trap.
No. That's the thing. The thing is, as long as it was, see, my daughter's generation, she also was tracked and catered to, as Mr. Barjatia was saying. But You know, like every time she takes up a cartoon channel, which was her favorite go-to channel, a children's channel, they would bombard her with advertisements for toys, for bubble gum, for candy, for clothes. So, you know, we were pressured by children to make some major decisions in the house regards shopping. But now it's gotten one step ahead and one step worse, because now the AI algorithm tracks a child's activity, knows what the child is amenable to, what it is likely to buy in what way. It needs to feed you the message that you need to buy stuff. You need some stuff to feel fulfilled. And at what age? Forget about 2 or 3 year olds. I think they're not at that much danger because we monitor them. They are in our hands. They are in our presence. But beyond 5 or 6, I mean, once they start going to school, the other children are also influencing them. It's a big problem because the AI will define what you're going to think. And that spoon feeding is where the danger lies. And it's not a danger just to the children, it's a danger to the parents. The parents have to make tough decisions. You have to spend that time. Stop trying to relax. I know it sounds terrible, but I have the right to say so because I've done it at great expense to myself. Fire the babysitter, shut off the mobile. Throw your children out to play outside. As Musk himself said, throw them out. You have to literally, my son, I have to kick him out to go and do something physically active. But you have to, because the times have changed. Other children are also sitting and gaming. So I have to tell my child, no, you have to go play baseball. You have to go play basketball. I have to compel my son to do it. And it's a goat rope. It's an uphill task. And I think now the responsibility, the focus on parents with all this AI has become higher, because I'll be honest, sometimes I pull the phone away from my son, I pull the iPad away from my son, and then I get hooked to it. I start watching what he's watching. It is such a quagmire. It just sucks you in. So if it can do that to an adult, imagine what it will do to the kid. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's no... It's like losing weight. You can do it surgically. You can use drugs to do it. But at the end, you have to do it the hard way. There's no shortcut.
Okay. Gitanjali, if I can come to you at this point. So, there are all kinds of addictions. You have liquor, you have smoking, you have narcotics, and much of this is connected to dopamine.
Gambling.
And then you have a social media addiction, which is again connected to dopamine, very much steered, engineered through AI algorithms, affecting every single aspect of not only a child's development, but even responses.
Yeah.
How would you break this down in very practical ways for the viewers?
Sorry, I missed some part of your question. What you were saying is, yes, the algorithms are having that effect. What is it exactly that you're asking me? I missed that.
So, Gitanjali, how would you break this down? Now, if we know about it, if there are parents who are saying, listen, I'm going to work, I don't have an option but to give the screen time to the child. I don't have enough care to ensure that there is somebody who's going to take care of the child without giving the screen time. If the child is going to an X place for babysitting, the screen is being used there. So if the screen is everywhere, and if a child anywhere from the age of 1 till 16 is being sent there, there are ways of how to regulate it, but how much can a parent really control this, and how much does a parent really need to control this in today's time?
definitely parent does need to control and regulate it till we work on our parenting in a manner that the child learns some impulse control. In this time, in this present time of parenting, where the children are being fed or are being they're brought up with the idea of entitlement. The idea of entitlement is so much in them that they demand and they want it. Instant gratification is what they are growing up with. So parenting will have to be regulated in the manner that the child learns to listen to the no. If the support or the care we have,
No,
we'll have
but
to monitor and supervise that
allow me to
person,
come
that
in
that
here.
person doesn't look for such shortcuts.
You know, if you're talking about entitlement and if you're talking about instant gratification, hey, that was there even for the earlier generations. That was there even for me when I was growing up. That was there for even, our parents when they were growing up. It was a different form of instant gratification. It was a different form of entitlement.
No.
So if that is what it is about, is it such a big deal?
No, let me explain. When you grew up, or for that matter, I grew up, or your parents grew up, the quantum of instant gratification was not that much as we have now. Remember the Doordarshan times when it was switched on, we had to wait for so many minutes with gaping eyes when a small dot appeared on the screen and the dot grew up to an image which we saw. So the concept of waiting and watching, pausing in life, it is actually missing. The quality time which was being spent, the toys were simpler, the toys were the household items. Now the child has asked for one and the child has 10. The child may not ask for any. It is a compensatory parenting which the parent is doing. Oh, I was away for 2 days, I need to go back with 5 toys for my child. What for? The child doesn't even know how to play with them, what to do with them. They get bored with those stuff. How to engage themselves is the problem. When they keep scrolling these things, the brain is in such a state of overstimulation that the brain does not get conditioned to pausing, stopping, reviewing, reading, observing, learning. All these skills are missing. So definitely parent would need to come together, a cohort of parents, a supporting group of parenting, maybe the child care facilities where our parents are going there. There can be a volunteer parent on rotation basis which can liaison with that organization, that what are the activities they're going to plan for all the children there. The schools are also facing the brunt of this because the children are not able to concentrate. The ADHD issues are increasing in children. The handwriting issues are increasing in children. The aggression is increasing. The restlessness is on the rise. Parents are suffering. The school is also having a lot of problems. So definitely the entire community will have to rise up to this. And it's high time we all do it. I am not against it in the sense that we ban it. Till our children learn those behaviors and rules, what to do, how much to do, when to do, when not to do, and what are the safe practices of using them. These kind of lessons are important for
Rashmi
them.
Jain, Dr. Rashmi Jain.
If this is not done, the results are dismal.
Yes.
Certainly. Dr. Rashmi Jain, when we talk about these AI algorithms and the social media use, of course, we've been talking about overuse, about exposure, but there's also another aspect that I very quickly want you to dwell with. It's not just about overexposure, it's also about the negatives that may come in for children who do not know self-regulation, children who may not be able to be regulated or restricted with the likely supervision. Could you very quickly tell us the best parenting tips? You are a parent, you are an AI professor yourself. Very quick tips on what parents could really do.
Okay. So I always felt that mobile is such a device that they always see in hands of all the adults. So it's very difficult to keep it away from the kids. So while I totally agree with Gitanjali, but at the same time, I feel instead of totally keeping them away from the kids, at least in my case, I used the social media and YouTube very, very constructively to teach my child maths and tables in a gamification manner. Being a professor, I understand that gamification is one of the most engaging way to learn. So that's where I used technology and gamification to make my child learn about tables and maths. So yes, there is a lot of negative content. There's a lot of content which the kid should not be exposed to. It gives the child a space where they can just discover anything which is not even appropriate for their age. But at the same time, I feel if the parent along with the child spends time on social media together, and make it as a together time on the screen which is controlled, and you're watching constructive content, the child learns how to use technology in a better fashion rather than using it for destructive, or in using it in a manner which would not help the child to grow, to learn, or to acquire new skills. So that is what I have been doing with my child, where we actually use the good part of the technology.
Yes, and I think that's why even the pediatrics bodies, they never say ban. They never use the word ban. They don't say don't use it at all. But depending upon the developmental stages that children are, they are advised on what to do. So if you have a child who is just about, say, 2 years or below, it's advised you don't give any screen time whatsoever. But if you have a child who is a little bit more than that, between, say, up to 5 years or so, you can give in screen time, say, of 1 hour, but with restrictions, with very close supervision. And 6 years and above, it's advised that you should be very consistent in what is being told to the child. Kasturi Shankar, if I can come to you,
I would just
the
like
last
to add one
answer
more point
from you.
here.
Yes, sure, Dr. Rashmi Jain, go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add, as I explained, that AI algorithms have the process of delivering the same type of content and results what the user is watching or consuming. When we start using it in a constructive fashion, that is what the AI will deliver. So it is a hack to use the AI in a more appropriate manner for the growth of the child, rather than letting the child just watch any random thing or consume any random thing on social media and AI take its route. So that is like my small piece of advice.
True. So it's not only just actually about appropriate content, which is extremely important, but it's also about the appropriate developmental stage in which that child is. So the content, one, may be appropriate, but it should be in accordance to where the child is also at that stage in terms of the time that that child can handle with respect to the screen. If I can just come over to Kasturi Shankar. As we end this show, Kasturi, tell us a little bit about you. What kind of working hours do you have, practically speaking? It may not be fixed hours. So how do you ensure, or how did you ensure while your children were growing, you could keep a tab on what really was required?
Okay. First, I want to say Dr. Rashmi stole the words out of my mouth. I was going to say I had this secret hack helping me, and I think everybody should, go in every time their kid is using the phone, throw in a little bit of theory of relativity and a knitting video and everything. You start asking for stuff and throw the AI algorithm completely out of gear. The AI doesn't even know what you're looking for, because there's a cooking video, there's a knitting video, there's a how to keep your room clean video, and there is a math video. So a little bit of everything, and then the AI decides that, oh my God, this kid is a real achiever kind of kid, so we'll have to show it serious, good stuff. So that was the hack I was going to talk about, but Dr. Rashmi stole it literally out of my lips. But, that's why she's the doctor. As far as my time constraints are concerned, here's one thing. With every dark cloud, there is a silver lining. In movies, I was able to sneak my children with me to the shooting spot. So my children, it's like being a circus family where the children grow up somersaulting and learning how to trapeze from a young age. My kids grew up around a makeup table, and that's fine. it's a good place to be.
Right. All right. Okay. So there are pros and cons to everything, to careers, to professions, as well as to AI. Our whole point of having this discourse today has really been able to engage and to give the best of information to all of our viewers. We're totally out of time. Gitanjali Kumar, Dr. Rashmi Jain, Kasturi Shankar, as well as Rahul Bhardwaj, thank you very much for joining us and adding to this discourse.
Thank you.
Time for a very short break. On the other side, do join us for our late night edition where we'll be bringing you all the big happenings of the day.